Very good morning to all of you. And I extend a very warm welcome to all of you in this 6 days program on teaching, testing, and evaluation for Manipuri language. First of all, I would like to extend my very warm welcome to the chief guest of the session, Honorable Commissioner Sri Vinayak Gargaji from NVS headquarters, under whose patronage the NVS has started running these wonderful and exemplary. Afterwards, I would also like to extend my hearty welcome to Director CIIL Mysore, who on behalf of the CIIL is patron to all these programs, and it is the 10th program that we are conducting under his supervision. Afterwards, it is my pleasure to welcome Joint Commissioner of the NVS, Commissioner Shri Gyanendra Kumarji from NVS headquarters, and who has laid the very foundation of these programs. And as I always say, like without his supervision, without his guidance, these programs would not have been possible. Afterwards, we have a very beloved, our Deputy Director, Professor P.R. Dharmesh Fernandez Sahab, with us from Central Institute of Indian Language, Mysore, and he has been very instrumental in the both in the preparation of the architect of these programs, in the facilitation and the execution of these programs, and in all the programs he has been very important. He has been a guiding force for all of us. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. And thereafter, I would also like to welcome Shri M.A. Munib Sahab from NLI Kamru. And I remember that we have conducted one program for Assamese language with him, and we have been getting his constant support, his guidance, and it is only with this support that we conducted one program with this. Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so very much for joining us in this program. We also, I also extend a very warm welcome to NP Rajan Sahab, Deputy Commissioner from NVS headquarters. And I and Rajan Sahab, we have been, discussing about these programs. We have been always in touch over phone, and sometimes appreciating each other and sometimes fighting with each other, so that these programs can be conducted both on time and they can be delivered, beautifully. Rajan Sahab, thank you so much for joining with us. Friends, I'm sure that you must have got the reading materials, the inauguration schedule, and the the program schedule of the programs. It's my pleasure to brief you a little bit, about these programs for now. However, the detailed descriptions and of these programs will be given by Amom Nandrasji using the Manipuri language, and we have made sure that all the lectures are conducted in your native language, so that there could be maximum, transfer of the knowledge. There could be maximum dissemination of the concepts and the content. And we have specifically designed these programs to address the issues and challenges that the teachers who are teaching Manipuri as second and third language, also if they are teaching as a first language in some cases. So those kind of issues and challenges that they face when they are teaching it as second and third language all across the India. So in these programs, we'll be covering, the basics of teaching, learning, testing, and evaluation. We'll be also talking about what are the essential values that the teachers, especially a language teacher, should have if they are, going to teach a second or third language in the places where this language is not spoken, to the students who don't speak Manipuri as second or first language. We'll also be talking about how we can integrate the technologies, and therefore we have kept special lectures on the information and communication technologies and natural language processing, and there you would be made aware with the latest tools and technologies that they are used by the experts, by the industrialists, by the professionals in the area. We'll be also specifically focusing on the vocabulary, on the grammar, and about the meanings, keeping in the mind the basic linguistic skills that are to be inculcated in the students. Those are, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. We'll be talking about the language learning strategies as well as the teaching methodologies, so that you can be made aware that what are the things which are important, not only from the point of view of the teachers, but also from the point of view of the learners. Say, for example, like I always give this example, if you are going to set up a question paper in your classroom, so teacher has a different point of view, while a student has a different point of view. So when you are setting a paper, are you setting the paper with the point of view that you have to measure the performance and the competence of the student, or you are going to you are to set it up, your own evaluation, the things which you have been teaching in the classroom, whether they have been conveyed properly in the, during the session or semester properly or not. So these are the things. So these are the things that we'll be covering. And these programs, like these lectures, these sessions have been designed in such a way, they will not only, focus about the content or the language, but the kind of expertise, the kind of performance that you develop over the course, over these 6 days of course. So for the first 4 days, we'll be, giving you the theoretical sessions, while in the last 2 sessions, we'll also be assessing the change or the improvement, which you will inculcate during these 4 days of programs. We will also focus on, specifically on the culture of the Manipur, because you know that the culture is very important part of language. In fact, some people, or not some people, the academicians and the scholars are of the view that the culture and language, they run together, they flow together. Without culture, you cannot teach language, and without language, you cannot, inculcate the properties such as brotherhood, such as, harmony, such as the tolerance to the citizens. So we'll also be talking about that. And specifically, one very important point, which is important for all the teachers, and which we will focus on the last 2 days, that how to prepare a balanced question paper, how to write a proper question item, so that you can also judge, you can also but also your own teaching and learning, your own skills as a teacher. So these are the things which we will be talking about in this 6 days of program. And I'm sure with my experience of the last 9 programs, I'm sure that you are going to enjoy it. And we have chosen the experts who are renowned, who are very tall figure in their respective areas of expertise. And I hope we will mutually learn from each other. One thing which I would like to mention, that I know that you all have been teachers, you have been teaching for more than 2 decades, 2.5 decades, so you have pretty good of experience of the teaching. So we are not going to teach you that how to teach. We are not going to teach you about Manipuri language. What we are going to train you on, that how to teach a language in more efficiently, more beautifully, so that you can have the maximum outcome in your classrooms. And one thing which I would like to draw your attention to, that that these programs are being conducted in online mode, and thereafter therefore there would be several times where when your connections will not be proper, our connection will not be proper, and so we have to keep patience. We have to we don't have to panic. We simply have to wait for some time and try to log in again. And I hope that since you have been taking the online classes during the last 2 years due to COVID, so you already must be aware about such issues. So thank you so much. And now I would like to request Amom Nandarajji to introduce the program objectives in Manipuri language, and so that
first of all, I actually give my sense of honor to Dr. Pankaj for actually providing me such an opportunity to moderate the session for our these online courses on teaching, testing, and evaluation for Manipuri language. In fact, for me, this will be my first time actually to moderate the session, that too in our Manipuri language. Actually, I feel I'm fully privileged and honored to do so. And since, as you advised me to speak in Manipuri, basically for the Manipuri teacher, as well as maximum numbers of participants will be Manipuris only. So that I can, facilitate myself in terms of language communication. Now, I'm just taking the opportunity to announce the whole timetable set. Of course, before coming to CIIL, I was also a lecturer somewhere in a private college, and somehow I could experience how a teacher should have fundamentally, as well as some of the features that I have to have before becoming a full-fledged teacher. So for that, I hope the timetable set out so is so beautiful and well organized in a very, very sequential manner. So kudong sabasi logzaraga han mukda Dr. Pankajjibu aini kai khumna zubu kuchari khoi Manipuri online teaching, testing, evaluation the Manipuri language, particularly for the teachers of NVS Nabodia Singi Gamtapi Basida Sagi Pungtrani 12 to 1:15 teaching, learning, testing and evaluation by LSS. Of course, the abbreviation basically stands for Dr. L. Sujit Singh. So I think those having a program and the timetable will see how all the abbreviation stand for, and I don't need to actually speak all the names within such a short span of time. And it will be followed by essential values of a teacher, the distance versus modern approach, Dr. Konika, and there is a slight schedule sense. Use of ICT in teaching and the testing of languages, including social media platform. It has to be actually, it was supposed to be taught by Dr. Pankajji, but the taxonomy of education objectives, EEO Part 1 general, so Dr. B.S. Kumana, Maki Mota, Talagani Eduga Maki Mota, Dr. Pankaj Divisina, High, but Maki Sam to the Talagani. Aduga, as my talk to Namatangi, the learning 16 March of 22. The learning and the teaching vocabulary, the art of word formation analysis, Professor Hidang Mayum Sur Mongol Sarman Tapigani, Matanga, teaching grammar introduction to syntax, I Samang Yamomadras Bite, and the same slot which was supposed to be taken by Dr. Pankasividu from Sulakani using NLP tool, software, and the corpora for the purpose of language teaching, NKS, NKSC, Young Ministry. So Dr. N. Kisojit Singh, triple IIT Professor NKS. Na tapigini asumna maintaining a language classroom si mamangda hambada tang ta tukisda tang ta magi batang mes mamang sida language learning status sida Professor Irong Gambir Singh takani. Sagi language teaching and method and technique ta Professor promoting takani basic language skill gi tang ngagi sida Dr. Laisam Bijan Singan tapigani, and phonetics and phonology, the science of speech sound sida Dr. Mayra Batakilam takani the gidi tang ta tukisida matangida Professor Aisura Mongol Singh na word formation and analysis takani adagi teaching grammar sam lagre adum sagi Dr. B.S. Kumagi motor lagre ba Professor DBD kitu makum takani adu sagi ai naje gi ba sagi no kapam kisoli singa lakani adu tang tratiki sida smart of na CDD si Dr. Sirom Dainana tapigani maintaining managing a language classroom si matanda sagi amuk PNS aina say assembly na po assembly na team matam sida ka why the teaching, testing and evaluation Professor Nabachan Singh tapigani maxi already mas NTM the program kaya la pira mamari aduga muksu sagi teaching, testing and evaluation poitigista sagi waza Kisor ki kunje source singana ताकि डॉक्टर की कुछ जैसे सिंगना कोई खा मणिपुर कॉलेज फ्रॉम की तगिनी अदगी मो कोई रीजन एंड लैंग्वेज इन स्कूल एंड एजुकेशन विद रिस्पेक्ट टू एनईपी कोई प्रोफेसर अभिदेश कुमार मिश्रा कोई फॉर्मर डायरेक्टर ना ताकि मोई थंगा कोई पीपल लैंड लिटरेचर एंड द कल्चर विद रिस्पेक्ट टू मणिपुरी डॉक्टर आनंद लोंगजम ना ताकि मोई थंगा कोई taxonomy of education objective part 2 assessment and evaluation of teachers and teaching materials कोई डॉक्टर कोई विदेश कुमार ताकि अदगी कोई NTS team कोई question item types अदगी मागी मखल मागी applications अदगी कोई IFC and marketing कोई NTS team अदगी NTS team की अयाम slot ची कोई मथंग लोई ले रहे अदना मरुइना while coming to the end of the session I hope you will be finding how कोई teaching methodology की बतांग सीधा कोई interesting from 18 to 19 से मसी यागी don't miss this particular days in fact मसी there you will get the total feedback I hope so sir so सिगी 18 to 19 की स्टेडी NTS team I was saying से मसी don't miss all these classes it's my strong request from my side so असुन हाइजेगा आइना मयाम देगी बिदाई लोग thank you sir thank you
thank you so very much Amomji Nandraji and we have just received a message from our guest of honor Shri Gyanendraji. He has to go somewhere for an urgent meeting, so I extend a warm welcome to Gyanendra sir once again and sir please over to you sir. I would like to request him to deliver his
thank you
sir.
Thank you Dr. Dwivedi ji. Am I audible?
Yes sir, you are very much audible.
आप सभी को नवोदय विद्यालय समिति की ओर से अभिवादन। डॉक्टर पंकज द्विवेदी जी जो इस पूरे कार्यक्रम और हमारी एनवीएस के एसोसिएशन के सूत्रधार हैं, डॉक्टर द्विवेदी जी, डॉक्टर धर्मेश जी who is looking after this center of under CIIL, Mr. Anum Nandraj ji who has given a brief of the schedule of the topics to be covered and the resource persons who will take the classes in the entire 6 days program. Director CIIL and our Commissioner NVS who was likely to join, but due to his busy schedule it was difficult for him to spare time for this training program. I welcome all of you, including Deputy Commissioner NLI Kamru and Deputy Commissioner Training Mr. Rajan, as well as all my Manipuri teachers, regional language teachers from entire country. मैं आप सभी का इस कार्यक्रम में स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। This 6 days training program was devised after declaration of NEP 2020. The first initiative taken by the Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti under National Education Policy was to contact CIIL to initiate training to our regional language teachers. And certainly CIIL has assisted us in formalizing this training program, conducting series of training program in different regional languages. And this is the last program, I think, that in which that Manipuri teachers are participating. The Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, in principle, is the only organization in the country who is implementing 3 language formula in the country. And not only implementing the 3 language formula, but students are also being migrated from Hindi speaking area to non-Hindi speaking area. We have 17 such languages in which these students are linked with the JNVs, and 30% students of class 9 are being migrated from Hindi speaking to non-Hindi speaking and vice versa for entire period of 1 year to learn the language, to learn the culture, to exchange the values of the states. And as Dr. Dwivedi has already quoted, that culture and languages flows together. संस्कृति और भाषा दोनों साथ साथ चलती हैं। संस्कृति ही नहीं, कला, संस्कृति और भाषा, इनका प्रभाव एक साथ होता है। हमारे जो माइग्रेशन के अंतर्गत जो मणिपुरी टीचर्स हैं, मैं उनका विशेष रूप से साधुवाद देता हूं, स्पेशली फॉर दोज हु आर टीचिंग दिस लैंग्वेज इनटू एट नॉन हिंदी स्पीकिंग एरिया. They are doing great service to the nation by integrating the people, by integrating the states, by integrating the culture and art of the linked states and the children. I admire that the best feature of the NVS, that is the migration scheme, and that is successful only due to these regional language teachers who are serving the country from some teachers are more than 1,000 kilometers away from their home states for this great cause. National education policy also emphasizes the role of third language, role of regional language, role of mother tongue in the education system, and at 2 places it content, if it is in the national education policy, that is on the regional languages. In 4.11, chapter 4, para 4.11, there is a topic that multilingualism and the power of languages. All teachers must study, must read this para, and as well as chapter 22, specifically for promotion of Indian languages, art and culture. यहाँ पर भी इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस के साथ द्विवेदी जी आर्ट और कल्चर जुड़ा हुआ है. तो जब भाषा का जो प्रतीक है, ये केवल अल्फाबेटिकल सिखाना नहीं है, वो उस भाषा के साथ वहाँ के राज्य की वैल्यूज, वहाँ की कला, वहाँ की संस्कृति, वहाँ का खान पान, वहाँ की वेशभूषा, वहाँ के नृत्य, वहाँ के गीत, ये सब का प्रभाव होता है. ये सब माइग्रेट करते हैं. जब भाषा माइग्रेट करती है, एक स्थान से दूसरे स्थान पर पहुंचती है. हम नवोदय विद्यालय समिति के अंतर्गत एक और काम हो रहा है, जिसमें हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि ये जो हमारे लैंग्वेज के टीचर्स हैं, उनके इवैल्यूएशन सिस्टम में और कंटेंट में कम से कम 20% वेटेज होना चाहिए. भाषा शिक्षण के साथ साथ आर्ट और कल्चर का भी असेसमेंट हो, और वहाँ की वेशभूषा, वहाँ का हैबिटेट, वहाँ का खान पान, इन सब का भी, क्योंकि जब तक किसी चीज का आप असेसमेंट नहीं करते हमारे इंडियन स्कूल सिस्टम में, वो चीज का महत्व नहीं होता है. सो वी आर गोइंग टू बी मेक इट ए पार्ट ऑफ आवर असेसमेंट सिस्टम आल्सो, दैट एटलीस्ट 20% वेटेज शुड बी गिवन along with the content or language learning for this area also. Second thing, we have made the provision in purchasing of library books. 10% categorically weightage is given to procure every year. 10% expenditure is to be done for procurement of regional language books also. We have the provision of 1 lakh in the library scheme, and then its 10% will be especially devoted for procurement of regional language books, so that we are trying our level best to promote the regional languages. This is now the onus is on our regional language teachers to study the national education policy, especially chapter 22 as well as para 4.11, जिससे कि वो आत्मसात कर पाए अपने शिक्षण के अंतर्गत उन बातों को जो राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति में कही गई हैं. और टीचिंग, लर्निंग, टेस्टिंग का ये जो 6 दिन का कार्यक्रम है, जिसमें डॉक्टर द्विवेदी जी बता रहे थे कि 4 दिन इंटरेक्शन होगा, रिसोर्स पर्सन अपनी बात कहेंगे, 2 दिन हमारे टीचर्स हैंड्स ऑन लर्निंग होगा. मुझे आशा ही नहीं, विश्वास है कि हमारे सभी मणिपुरी टीचर्स पूरी तन्मयता से ये 6 दिन का कार्यक्रम करेंगे, अटेंड करेंगे, लगातार अटेंड करेंगे. ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स की वजह से कुछ टेक्निकल दिक्कतें आ सकती हैं, फिर भी आप पूरे मनोयोग से ये 6 दिन का कार्यक्रम अटेंड करें और 2 दिन अधिकतम क्वेश्चंस तैयार करें जो आपके टीचिंग लर्निंग में काम आएंगे. बच्चों के साथ त्रिभाषा सूत्र के अंतर्गत स्पेशली नॉन हिंदी स्पीकिंग एरिया में मैं अपने सभी मणिपुरी शिक्षकों के योगदान की सराहना करता हूं. और आशा करता हूं कि ये 6 दिन का कार्यक्रम राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के आलोक में उनको और अधिक क्षमतावान बनाएगा राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के कक्षा में क्रियान्वयन के लिए। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ CIIL के सभी रिसोर्स पर्सन, द्विवेदी जी, धर्मेश जी और सभी रिसोर्स पर्सन नंदराज जी की का मैं हार्दिक स्वागत करता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं। 6 दिन तक आप हमारे इन शिक्षकों से जुड़े रहेंगे। मुनीब जी कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे हैं, राजन जी हेडक्वार्टर से कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे हैं। आप सबको साधुवाद देते हुए कार्यक्रम की सफलता के लिए हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you so very much, sir, for your inspiring speech. And you rightly said that NVS is the only school body in the entire country which is fundamentally responsible for the successful implementation of the 3-language formula. You also rightly pointed out that the teachers of NVS are going to play the most important role in the successful implementation of the National Educational Policy 2020. And I'm sure like these programs will be instrumental and will pave the way for the successful implementation of the program, as long as we have the leaders, as long as we have the torch bearers like you. So thank you so very much for taking out time from a busy schedule and giving to this learning program. Now I would like to invite Professor P.R. Dharmesh Fernandez, Deputy Director CIIL Mysore, to brief the participants in detail about the activities and the objectives of the National Testing Service India as well as CIIL Mysore. And since Director CIIL is not here, I would also like to request him to deliver, the presidential remarks on behalf of the Director CIIL Mysore. Sir, I extend a very warm welcome to you and thank you so very much. Over to you, sir.
Sabko namaskar. Dear Professor Sailendra Mohan, Director Central Institute of Indian Languages, dear Shri Vinayak Garji, the Commissioner Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti, and the Joint Commissioner Shri Gyanendra Kumar ji for his wonderful speech and for his quite long association with Central Institute of Indian Languages, and Officer in Charge Dr. Pankaj Dwivedi ji, was very much instrumental for this online program with Navodaya Samiti, which is the only, rightly he has pointed out, only the successful machinery in Government of India in implementing third language policies. And all the Deputy Commissioners of Navodaya Vidyalaya and the research unit of Research and Technical Unit of National Testing Service of India, and dear participants of Navodaya Vidyalaya teachers. It's a very warm welcome from Central Institute of Indian Languages. Central Institute of Indian Languages is the subordinate office under Ministry of Education in Government of India, which works for linguistic harmony through languages across the nation. To maintain a linguistic harmony, Central Institute of Indian Languages associated the scholars of the nation and scholars from the different parts of the world to do interdisciplinary research through which it is maintaining the linguistic harmony in our nation. We all know that India is multilingual nation. Nyanandar ji also he pointed out that how NAP has given the power of multilingualism. So we have different units working under Central Institute of Indian Languages to maintain a linguistic harmony, like National Translation Mission, which works on to provide quality education, to give the knowledge text to the nation in different languages, so that a higher education can be taught to the children through their mother tongue. And language is not a static; it develops. It has to fulfill the need of the hour. Now, everywhere you go, you have technology involved in languages. So we have Linguistic Data Consortium of Indian Languages, which works on exclusively on speech corpora. The Scheme for Preservation and Protection of Lesser Known and Endangered Languages. So we have so many units which are working under Government of India, under Central Institute of Indian Languages, to maintain a linguistic harmony in our nation. Apart from that, it has the responsibility of to give a quality education to all. We have national education policies which has been implemented by the government of India. So many organizations are there. NCERT. NCERT, it talks about how the curriculum should be designed and other things. But National Testing Service of India, under our officer in charge, Pankaj Dwivedi, we are working on how to give the quality education. Quality education is very much important. As you rightly pointed out, we are not going to teach all the Manipuri teachers how to teach the Manipuri language. The children, the quality of the language teaching. So we work on, this workshop is going to be, is going to teach you about linguistic basic concepts of language teaching and evaluation, and Bloom's taxonomy, how the language can be imported to the children in a very quality manner. So apart from that, then you will be taught about how the language, Manipuri language specific concept of teaching Manipuri. Then later stages, you'll be exposed to how the question items in Manipuri should be set, because when you talk about a language, it's not only the grammar and linguistics. It has to go beyond that, the culture of the community, through which Central Institute of Indian Languages is trying to bring a harmony. Because when you talk about a language, it should be culture. Without culture, there should not be any language. So initial days, you'll be exposed orally to the techniques and methods of language teaching and evaluation. Later days, you'll be hands-on training. So it is a very good initiative by the Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti and Central Institute of Indian Languages. So I request all the participants to take very actively in this 6 days workshop and get the knowledge and propagate this knowledge to your peers and to the children. I'm thanking you all, one and all. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, sir. I'm sure your words will be a guiding force for all of us during the programs and afterwards also. And now I would like to request M.A. Munib Sahab, the Deputy Commissioner from NLI Kamrup, to propose vote of thanks. Munib Sahab, over to you, please. Your mic is on mute.
Thank you, Dr. Pankaj. Sri Gyarendra Kumar, Joint Commissioner Academics, representing NVS, Sri Dharmesh, Deputy Director, CIIL, Deputy Commissioner Training, and all the resource persons and coordinators of CIIL, and all the trainees, Manipuri, TGT, Manipuri teachers of this region, Shillong region NVS, as well as schools of other regions where they are working. A very good morning. This is a training of Manipur teachers who have been expecting very eagerly since last many years to have a systematic training in the learning, in the teaching, in the testing, in the evaluation of their subjects. And today they are being brought to a common platform under CIIL so that they learn something, they do something, they interact something, so that they are benefited. So I would definitely thank to the whole NVS team and CIIL and resource persons and all the people who are directly or indirectly helping us in conducting this training so that we get the maximum benefit, maximum juice from this training. So my message to all the teachers is that learn more and more till you die, because learning is the most important thing in our life. Since our birth till our death, we have to learn. It may be from a young teacher, a young guru, or maybe old man, or even we have to learn from an insect also, small insect like ant. So learning attitude must be always with us, so that we can improve ourselves more and more, and ultimately we can transmit all these things to the new generation, so that our civilization, human civilization, is the world is goes very smoothly with full of developments in the future also. So I would thank all the people involved in this training again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Munibji, for delivering, for proposing the vote of thanks. And you rightly said that learning must never be stopped, and learning forms the very basic core of a good teacher. And it has been my pleasure, it has been my privilege interacting with the NVS teachers for last 1.5 years, who have been engaged in the teaching, learning of different Indian languages. And I must say, they all are wonderful. They are all very dedicated to their professions. They are all very dedicated to the students. They are all very dedicated to the teaching as an area, teaching as a discipline. So I'm sure that these teachers are going to, like you said, the learning is important. These teachers, will not only learn, but also will transfer this learning to their students. So thank you so very much for, joining us.